Live from Ohio's news channel, this is the Morning Exchange with Fred Griffith, Joel Rose, and Lee Jordan.
Good morning. It's 31 degrees right now. It's Thursday, December 17th, 1987. But it was just 40 years ago, this very day, that for the first time, people in the Cleveland area turned on TV sets like this and saw things like this.
This is television station WEWS, your Scripps Howard station, first in Cleveland. WEWS operates on Channel 5 from 76 to 82 megacycles and maintains studios on East 13th Street in downtown Cleveland.
There you go. That's what it was like.
What a fabulous piece of tape.
Oh, we got all kinds this morning.
Such memories and
all
stories.
All kinds of neat stuff today.
We're going to share with you people like
Is this a Motorola?
Shape. Yes.
I don't know what the other ones are.
In addition to our anniversary celebration today, we're going to be talking about the things that pregnant women need to be aware of, especially another little piece of history to show.
Yeah, little piece of history we put together about the first days of TV5. Watch and see.
Northern Ohioans had heard rumors about the magic of television and the stations that were already operating in New York City right after the end of World War II. But there was no sign that those electronic pictures would be racing through the air around here. That all changed in January of 1947, when the president of Scripps Howard Radio, Jack Howard, announced plans to build a new TV and radio station here in Cleveland. The contracts were awarded to convert the Women's City Club on East 13th and Chester into Ohio's first television studio, which at the time was being called one of the biggest in the country. It was also decided that the call letters of the new stations would be WEWS, the last three letters being the initials of the founder of the huge Scripps Howard newspaper chain, Edward Willis Scripps. Television was something brand new to the company, and they wanted their first station to be a good one. Actually, WEWS FM radio signed on the air first the morning of November 27, 1947. But everybody knew that television was not far off. And as Christmas drew closer, families struggled to install those massive cabinets with their tiny glass screens that were referred to as television receivers. Well, the day before the big day, the Cleveland Press published a special section of the newspaper welcoming WEWS to the city. The pages were a collage of articles, pictures, and advertisements about, well, the marvel of the day, TV. In those early days of television, the engineers who ran the cameras and operated the equipment were the real heroes. By nature, they were kind of half scientist and half showman. Their electronic gadget was every bit as exciting as a space launch. Well, right smack in the middle of the holiday season, WEWS gave Northern Ohio a Christmas gift that would never wear out. At 8 p.m. that Wednesday night, Channel 5 aired the annual Cleveland Press Christmas Party live from Public Hall and hosted by actor Jimmy Stewart. We were only on the air a few hours that first night, but it was, if nothing else, a nice start. Chances are that more people saw Jimmy Stewart by attending the party than those who actually saw him on TV that night. It was estimated there were only 300 television sets in the whole state of Ohio at the time. But there was an awfully good reason for that, because at the cost of $300 or more, plus installation, TV sets were just a bit beyond the income level of most families back in 1947. In fact, that kind of money could buy a good used car. But that was all soon to change. For as interest in TV went up, the price of the sets went down. By 1948, there were over 10,000 sets in Cleveland alone. Local commercial television was a success, and new shows were coming on the air at a rapid pace. The work at 13th Street bustled in those days, because before network television shows became available, everything a TV station put on the air, it had to create for itself. Well, at first there were mostly events that were happening outside the station. Oh, we had our fair share of sports shows and other local events, and gradually the station came up with shows of its own. The station's first general manager, James Hanrahan, seen here in the middle, saw to it that we stayed community-minded with all of our news and entertainment programs. TV5 was the first station in the country to offer a full college credit course that was taught on the air. Dorothy Fulltime was at the station from the very start with her daily interviews and news programs. And then there were shows like Uncle Jake, the predecessor of the Gene Carroll Show, that kept the kids busy, while Paige Palmer was making sure everybody watched their weight and exercised properly. Then the Old Dutch Polka Review later became known as Polka Varieties. The list of the old shows goes on and on beyond what some people can, or even want to, I guess, remember. But what most of us do remember are the faces, the people who hosted all of these shows. There was Lynn Sheldon, later known as Barnaby, the characters of Bob Dale, Paul Hodges, the man from Cincinnati, Jimmy Dudley, Bob Neal, and of course, Texas Jim Breslin. The list and the memories go on and on.
Oh, Joel, you were looking rather nostalgic as you were watching that.
Yeah, because I remember the day the station went on the air. I was, I don't know, 10 years old or something like that. And I thought, boy, you could ever work in television. Would that be an exciting thing?
That must bring back some wonderful memories for you.
Well, Texas Jim is going to be here later, and Betty Cope, who's now the general manager of Channel 25, was the director here. Earl Keyes was here, I think, almost back at the beginning. Bill Wiedemann.
Yes.
So we're going to have a neat time.
And I understand that we have a piece or two, a tape of you, too, from a few years back. That
we had some funny stuff happen from time to time. We'll see those, too.
Let's go to Chris.
There are few people around who would not remember the 1 O'Clock Club with Dorothy Fulltime and Bill Gordon, which was really the precursor of all shows like this today. It was really an original idea for its time. And we're going to take a look at that right now.
Oh, great.
Your ambassadors of good entertainment and your hosts for the biggest 1 O'Clock Club ever, Dorothy Fulltime and Bill Gordon.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. On behalf of Billy and myself, thank you very much. And I wish we knew how to say hello in all the various languages we have represented here.
Aren't they beautiful, really?
Just fantastic. People of all different backgrounds working and living together in complete harmony. It's just wonderful.
Well, it's the nationality groups that make our country strong, because the best people from all over the world came here, and the people now can prove, and we're going to show it tonight, that although you're a loyal American, you still have ties with your homeland. Your costumes are beautiful. I've heard them sing. They're really wonderful.
Yeah, we're in for quite a treat today. It's sort of the United Nations, everybody all melted together into one and yet holding on to their own individual costumes and music.
I was doing a song. I was singing Embrace Me, and I thought it'd be a wonderful thing if this English strong gal would lift me up in her arms. It was my idea. And she did. And she was holding me in her arms like a baby while I was singing Embrace Me. And the kids were screaming, the cameras were grinding, and at the finish, I stood up in her hands, right straight up. And she went off balance, and I went down on the floor, right on my conch, and laid there, and the kids screamed. They thought it was the greatest act, and I was laying there with I thought I had a concussion, you know. I got up and my nose was bleeding, and I said, pardon me, and I ran off stage. And then we came back and finished the show for about 20 minutes, you know.
I'd love to have you rehearse that.
You and I?
Yes.
What part are you going to play?
Dorothy Fulltime and Bob Hope.
I have to deal with Bob Hope. Gene Carroll also was involved, and we will watch Bob Hope now take a stab at Gene Carroll. I think you'll enjoy this, too.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa, yeah.
Not that hole.
Hello, Bob Hope's residence. It's for you, sweetie pie.
Thank you, baby lamb. Hi, this is Bob Fairmont School Hope.
Hi, Bob. This is Gene Carroll in Cleveland.
No. What do you say, Gene? How are things in my old hometown?
Well, that's what I'm calling you about. How'd you like to come back to Cleveland and be on a nice TV show that I'm producing for Landmark Farm Bureau Cooperatives? We're going to have some of your friends here and some surprises for you on TV.
No kidding. They got TV in Cleveland now?
No.
All right, turn it down. How about that? Seriously, Gene, I'd really like to do it. Sounds like fun. When do we start?
Well, just as soon as you can get going.
Well, I'm on my way.